if they want to and give INVOKER the safe lane. If they're worried about the bounty hunter roaming around, Medusa's just so tanky and kind of...
Not expect that whatsoever.
Oh, Moon at top. That's 4 stacks on Mushi. I think he's just dead. Yep.
Easy kill for Moon. He's probably going to be dying here as the Thunder Strike plus the tower shot should be enough. He's trying to heal himself, and he's actually going to be able to live just ever so barely. He still had a Fairy Fire in reserve to be able to go through that. Looks like he's going to deny himself to the neutrals. He just took a moment to buy out his Tranquil Boots, and he will be a very happy Bat Rider when dangers perhaps of getting some of those hard carries in lane. Maybe an off-laner like Moon is able to pressure that.
That's the second time this tournament, too, that I've seen him be able to get a solo kill against a dual safe lane. I think the first time we saw it was against LGD, actually? I can't remember.
Enigma at this bottom lane is actually putting some pressure. Mid lane, it looks like our silencer's dropping really damn low, and he is going to be just barely getting away from that INVOKER. Healing South brings him right back up to full. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Crit tried to provide some pressure. They're actually going to go in for DJ, but they have full Eidolons here. A nice double stun from Fly. Fly may be going down to the Eidolons, but now they have the stun up on Ohio. Maybe they can't give this support kill. Turn around, they're going to turn towards Crit instead. The counter ward will be enough to make sure they get that kill, but still, it's going to be well worth it as Miracle is just being fed so much gold. If only he could get that last hit. Ohio barely sneaks himself away, and they will not be able to make that a 1-for-2, but still a 1-for-1 trade-off that Miracle does manage to get himself at least some assist gold off of.
Yeah, but you cost a lot of the regen, you force the lineup back, and you manage to put some pressure on the bounty hunter. I think that's a somewhat okay-ish trade for Fnatic, but Mushi at top, he now picks up the stick for himself, but he has to respect this lane cap. And at top, that's 3 stacks, that's 4 in a second.
He's going to be run down so easily.
Mushi is so dead.
There's nothing Disruptor can really do about this. Disruptor being one of those kind of heroes that only comes online at level 6, he doesn't have the same kind of defensive power to protect against a Bat Rider if this Medusa just oversteps herself.
I can't tell you how bad this is right now for Fnatic. Well, I can, because Moon, he's playing Bat Rider, typically a hero that gets zoned out, you're forced to jungle. The fact that he's getting the majority of his farm from the lane is kind of unheard of. And most of the time you see this hero just stack up for himself, give up on the lane. Yeah, and Miracle cleans up a lot of the Eidolons that he was not microing just because he was getting busy with the bounty hunter, but No Tail mid is probably going to be dead here as Silencer has 0 defensive capabilities.
Yeah, No Tail doesn't stand a chance. This is already a bit of a tough matchup. Mushi is going to be forced to TP away, though, from Moon, as he does have no levels of Flame Break, can't stop a TP out. Still, though, that's going to be a lot of regen burned from Mushi.
I mean, that's a level 6 Bat Rider.
They're going to try and catch Mushi here. If they successfully get this kill, this will mean a Blink Dagger complete for Moon, and they're actually going to commit so many heroes. No Tail almost dies there to the Mystic Snake. He's actually going to TP back. Fly has made his way up, but we do see the laning ward that was placed out by Fnatic that sees all of this. Nice Sunstrike from mid one.
Yeah.
They're still going to go for the dive though. Mushi is going to be chased down, but they have a TP. Disruptor brings him right back. That's going to be free kill on Moon. OG just being a bit over aggressive now.
If you show the Silencer at top 2, I feel like it's almost like too obvious of a bait.
Yes.
Like, why is a 300 HP Silencer right there?
Against OG.
Yeah, they're just being a little bit sloppy, and it's kind of okay, but because Miracle's still getting a lot of farm.
Moon's trying to catch up to Ohio, turn around the roar. They have the Sunstrike over the top. Fly's going to share some of that damage. It looks like Moon may survive, but he's still being slowed down. The Malefist plus the Cold Snap. Moon's not going anywhere, and neither is Fly. He comes right back thanks to the Disruptor glimpse. They do have DJ who's going to be taken out here from the Silencer. So there goes that Aegis. But OG don't really have a way to be able to capitalize on any sort of positional game. There's the armlet.
That really only cost Fnatic the Aegis though, and I mean they've really slowed down the farm of Moon. At one point this guy was looking at like 12-minute off-lane Blink Dagger, contesting in lane, which is pretty nuts, but so far, when it comes to just like the mini engagements, it feels like Fnatic are picking up, and this is a variation on the 5-man that we were seeing from them earlier, but this looks a lot more precise. And I like the heroes too, because I felt like when they were going for the 5-man before, it was a...
Find an opening now with their 4-man smoke behind Mushi's. Medusa sitting in that mid lane. Moon is going to try and go. He's actually going to be popping the smoke. He runs right into them. He's going to be blown up almost immediately as everybody from Fnatic blow their spells. And now OG are on the way out. Miracle's already been slowed down. They still have the BKB. BKB is going to be popped by DJ. He needs to get off the black hole. He's successful, but there goes the Global Silence, stopping him in his tracks. Miracle will be able to finish off the Enigma, but can't lay his claws onto anybody else. A 1-for-1 trade-off there, as now OG start making their way to the Roshan pit, but I don't think they actually have enough of an advantage. Yes, the Batrider's back up, but God's Strength is coming down.
Yeah, they do have the Medusa Stone Gaze available. She wasn't able to pop it because of the global, but Yotel might just get caught on the low ground, but it gets 4-staffed out.
Good save. Mushi's blown his ultimate. OG. Oh, that's a bad position. Miracle's actually put right back into the Roshan pit. Now he's turned into a stone. They're going to be able to right-click him down as much as possible. Miracle puts himself on the far right side of the pit. On the other side of the ice wall, Roshan smashes. They're actually coming through with this. Mushi, he's trying to stay out of this Roshan pit, fighting up against OG, but he's just sitting on top of the flames. He's out of mana. He cannot be fighting in that situation. Fnatic, they managed to barely get away with the rest of their heroes as mid-1 is actually going to stick out with a track hold on top of him. How did OG manage to win that fight?
I mean, I think it was just they were able to bring their spend to everybody else, but once again, Firefly is just going insane in this fight, but Mushi did buy back, as did Ohio. They're going to get that kill, but they want more out of this. The Roshan is minimum for them at this point, Cap. They've committed so much to this. Moon doesn't want to exactly give it up, but the Flame Break doesn't manage to bring any of them up.
All he can really do is slow them down. He is basically by himself. Crit's going to throw down a track. And Moon, he actually gets a little bit too far into the mid. He was hoping to be able to lay down some Firefly fire, but that doesn't happen. He gets blown up by Ohio. Now they're going to be able to complete Roshan.
This was so hotly contested. I think neither team wanted to give it up.
I mean, though, OG, we already talked about the power of that Batrider near the Roshan pit, and Fnatic do have to back themselves away. They've already got a track onto net. Lincoln's isn't going to dispel much, but will protect net on his way out. Moon, he finally does get a grab here. It's going to be on mid-1. They also blow the global sounds. One hero instantly out for Fnatic. Fnatic are still going to try and turn, though. Miracle's popped his BKB. They've got the black hole opportunity on the 2. There's nothing to stop it either. They're just ripping through both of these heroes inside of the black hole. Glitch right on back. They're going to be able to find no tail as well. They thought that one pick off from the Invoker meant Fnatic wouldn't be able to turn like that, but Ohio and his boys, they show otherwise.
And that's going to be the Roshan and the cheese for Fnatic. I'm not sure how OG is going to be able to hold this. Such a great black hole from DJ. I mean, they just waited, they waited, they waited. He was so patient with that. He's like, this is going to be the fight changer. Comes in with the BKB, understands that there's nothing left. Nobody can really handle it, I think, on OG. They do have heroes that have high armor, and that initial Warcry is going to be really important, Cap. But we'll see. You've got to deal with Mushi, though. He's no longer a hero you can just ignore in these fights.
Fnatic playing very patiently right now, trying to
I think you just
set up the perfect fight, because every single one of these lane pushes, Fnatic's like, no, not yet. Now they find the opening, and they're going to be able to jump onto Miracle with the roar. There's the counterplay from Moon with the Global Sounds already laid out. Here comes the black hole, but Global Sounds number 2 is out. Mushi, two-man stun coming out from Fly with a beautiful ult. Figures that wasn't quite enough. They managed to get out the cheese. Mushi's trying to make his way back. The Lincoln managed to block the stun. Mushi is only down to half HP, and he still has the Aegis. Beautiful ice wall there from mid-1, but a Fly stun onto 2 will be able to prevent Fnatic from moving forward. Miracle now challenging Mushi, finally going to be able to take him out, but he's going to lose his life underneath the static storm, it seems like, unless he can make use some sort of block. No, he gets stunned right back and he's already dead. Mushi with life number 2 now on the front line with the Lincolns. Doesn't really care. He's going to start beating on the racks. OG have lost 2 heroes for over a minute with no buyback. Fnatic, they may very well turn this from 1 lane of racks into 2.
I think they're going to be able to get everything, honestly. Mushi, you saw how difficult it was to kill him the first time around. He was in the thick of things. It didn't even matter. Fnatic are going to take everything. They come from more than just 1 set of racks.
The Enigma has a refresher, so the counter to the counter. Mushi with the alacrity is very quickly eating through this bottom lane of racks. OG at best will have to fight at top over Mega Creeps.
Yeah, 18 seconds.
Back, they just cannot afford to lose anybody here while posturing to defend.
54 seconds is feeling like an eternity right now for OG.
It really is. Oh, another one. Mid-1 jumps in with the ice wall. There's just no escape for most of these heroes.
If you're a Fnatic fan right now, you're feeling it as OG, they...
Alright. It's the last stand here for OG. Still another 25 seconds for Miracle. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's the 2-man black hole from DJ. Takes the opportunity while these heroes are still down and forcing OG to call that GG. A potential upset in both of our lower bracket games as Fnatic take game number 1 over OG.
That end decision, by the way, to constantly go for that Aegis and prioritize the Aegises and fight around their Medusa, eventually pays off for Fnatic, as that hero is way too difficult for OG to deal with.
And at the end, Blitz, if you could identify one thing that really went